We are very close to finishing up this rotated build. We actually got some new parts I'm gonna show you guys in just a sec, but I have to say, I broke something. Unfortunately, when I was trying to manage the hoses for our now mounted AOS that goes right here, the PCV connection that IAG sells that goes on the crankcase breather port right there where the blue towel is ended up breaking and snapping. So I cannot continue and finish the rest of the build, but for the most part, everything is pretty much done. I will go over it very briefly. Obviously, a lot has changed in the engine bay since the last video, so just to quickly recap on those changes, our intake manifold still needs to get bolted onto the TGVs. However, we do have our OEM throttle body on the intake manifold. That's good to go because we got a new throttle body gasket, and we have our new TGV to intake manifold gaskets chilling here on the wall, ready to go. As far as harness work goes, we've pretty much finished our injectors. We do have a couple things we still need to take care of, like flex fuel and speed density. As far as management goes, we did make some micro adjustments to the power steering pump lines, and then our main harness is now sitting closer to the passenger side strut tower, a little bit closer to the front. As far as coolant lines go, no more coolant is being ran through the AOS, so we're good to go there. It cleans up a lot of things in the engine bay and less points of failure. We are running a single line from the water pump to the back of the head, so that's where we're looping the coolant. Our PCV lines that run across the block to the valve covers are now plumbed. That took a little longer than expected just because I wanted to make sure everything looked good and things were configured in, I guess, a right way. And the last thing, obviously, we still need to do is the AOS besides the vacuum lines to the external wastegate and our boost control solenoid, which I will be covering in this video. Now, the good news is we did get a new part. We ended up getting this thing, which is our Killer Bee oil neck refill relocation, I guess you could call it. So it's going to allow the fabricator that's going to obviously fabricate our new charge pipes for our new setup. It's gonna give them an easier time and more clearance on the driver's side since we have those AC lines and other crap like that in the way. But as far as right now, for this part of the video, we're gonna install this, which is super simple. And we're also going to now kind of install the electronic boost control solenoid since I now have an idea of where that thing's gonna live. Right down below here is where the OEM fill neck is. There are two 10mm bolts you're gonna need to remove it in order to remove it, and the thing just comes right out. Right now, I just lubricated the new O-ring on our new Killer Bee fill neck, and hopefully it clears because it is gonna sit a little bit more forward. And yeah, that just went right on. I think right there is where I need it. But with anything, like I've mentioned, it's not really bolt on, because if it was, I mean, it wouldn't be so simple. There we go. It's going in without an issue. Just do the other side. That thing's good to go. Last thing we gotta do is take care of our electronic boost control solenoid. Super easy, don't overthink it. We have ports 1, 2, and 3. Port number 1 used to go to your turbo inlet, but I have since deleted it. And obviously with a rotated turbo setup, you're not gonna have a turbo inlet, just intake piping. Perfectly okay to have a breather filter, just make sure nothing goes in it. Port number 2 is gonna go to our bottom half of the external gate. And then port number 3 is gonna go to our compressor. I'm gonna install our new fittings because I have 1/4" vacuum line and I have 1/4" fittings all the way around. You guys already know how I feel about Teflon tape, so we're gonna be using PTFE thread sealant. This is gonna be perfectly fine. So I'm gonna go take care of this and then we'll meet you back at the car. I'm gonna put the boost controller right there, boop, in between the 3rd and 4th ABS line from the front. I'm gonna have the breather filter or thing pointed right here. That way we have the max surface area for the actual module to sit. And then this pigtail can go right here, boop, from our main harness there. And then we just have to route the vacuum lines to the compressor cover as well as the external wastegate sitting down there, and we'll be good to go. You know, one of the interesting things about having my car built in this little makeshift garage is the fact that I really don't have access to power tools or honestly electricity. And it's been kind of surprising how much I've been able to do without having an outlet. I can get an outlet. I've actually talked to them about it. It's actually not that hard, but I'd rather just not, just to keep things simple. And right there, it's pressed down. All right, I'm gonna let that seat. Hopefully that thing stays there. Tuck this underneath. That way it looks as clean as possible. And we will go right here. I guess one of the bad things about me is I'm a little bit OCD in terms of making things look as clean as possible. So for me, if you notice that there's a bunch of zip ties all over the place, I kind of go crazy with them sometimes. I try my best not to, but I don't know. I like things just sitting in a certain way, and just having them stay there, I think just does it for me. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys use zip ties a lot in your build? I think it's just kind of simple, kind of a caveman technique, but you know what? It works. And nobody really notices them unless they really point them out, you know? and I'm all for being simple. These are cheap. I buy them at Harbor Freight. Some people say they don't work well. I personally disagree. I've never had an issue with any Harbor Freight items except one or two. I just can't remember off the top of my head. This is all the 1/4 inch vacuum line I have left. Now the external gate is right here and it's pointing this way to kind of towards the firewall and upwards. My plan was to run the line from here kind of along the ABS lines away from the turbo, obviously, because I don't want them to melt, and kind of tuck them away in the back. Not my best work, but the fact that I want the boost controller sitting here on the ABS module, I think is gonna limit me some. I'm sure people relocate them and move them elsewhere, but I'm pretty happy with how it sits here, especially the line going to the external gate down there on the lower port. Honestly, I can't complain since it's pretty stealthy. The only one that's obviously sticking out like a sore thumb is this one that goes to the compressor, but I think once we have our intake piping here with our filter, you kind of won't notice it unless you're really looking at it. And just to give you guys a heads up, that is not the only way to configure the vacuum lines for this kind of setup with an external gate and a huge turbo like this. It really just depends on what your tuner wants, how much control of the boost that they want, and your current application. So just reference your tuner or other people or resources and find your own configuration. But I think this is gonna be simple and applicable to most people like myself. So if you have any questions on the routing of them, let me know down below. And we can't really do much else until we get that damn AOS piece. So we will see each other very soon and we will wrap up this freaking build. We're back. We just got the piece we were missing from IAG, just got delivered today. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up off camera because I have very tight deadlines. Tomorrow the car is actually going up ahead of schedule to go get fabricated. We're gonna get our intercooler piping all set and done because after that, the car is gonna be ready to hit the dyno. So I'll catch up with you guys once I put this thing back together, which should not take long, and then I'll show you guys the final product. And that's gonna wrap up this install. We just finished up the intake manifold. As you saw, all our lines for the AOS are now connected with our new IAG fitting down there. We do have some miscellaneous connections here, like the vacuum line to the tile, as well as the connection for speed density, because obviously we're still missing our intercooler piping, which will be in the next episode. So make sure you guys subscribe because you won't wanna miss out. Until next time, we will see each other on the next one.